So you're thinking of moving to Phoenix, Arizona, and trying to decide where in the Metro Phoenix area you'd like to live. Well, in today's video, I'm actually going to take you out to the city of Buckeye. It's the furthest west suburb of Phoenix. And the next stop beyond Buckeye is California, with a few little towns in between. So it's a little bit more rural, but there's tremendous growth that's getting ready to hit Buckeye. There's a number of master plans that are up and running, more master plan communities coming down the road. But there are some really nice lifestyle choices out there. If you want maybe acreage, you want non-HOA communities, for example, so you can pick and choose and do different things that you might want to do. So what I'm going to do is actually take you on a map tour of Buckeye. So I'm going to hop on my computer here in just a minute and kind of take you around and kind of show you the lay of the land of Buckeye and what it has to offer, what things that are up and running now that are being built, and what's coming down the road. And so with that being said, just kick back and relax, because we're going to get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is to know about the city of Buckeye or any other Metro Phoenix area suburb, hey, then be sure and subscribe below, and don't forget to tap that bell for notification so you'll be the first to know about our current market here in Phoenix. Hi, my name is Rick, and the team and I, we get calls, text messages, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to move to a place like Buckeye or any other surrounding metropolitan suburb here in the Phoenix area, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to move in 9 days or 90 days, reach out to us. You can give us a call, you can shoot us a text, you can send us an email, we can hop on a Zoom call. All of our information is in the description box below, and we'd be more than happy to help you make that smooth move to Phoenix.
All right, so I've got the Metro Phoenix map pulled up. Large area right in here is Metro Phoenix. Directly to the west is Buckeye. Buckeye is about 30 miles outside of Phoenix and happens to be the furthest west suburb in the area. It happens to be also one of the largest geographically. I think it's like 395 square miles. So that encompasses a lot of land in and around the area of Buckeye. So there's a lot of future growth that's scheduled for there, and I'll go more in detail in that in just a minute. But what I want to do is just kind of show you kind of the freeway system that we have here in town. There's Interstate 10 that goes through Buckeye. If you're not familiar with Interstate 10, that goes from California to Florida. Although it's really not right on there. There's plenty of space between the freeway and housing, but it is very convenient, easy access to get on and off the freeway. So that's nice. And what's nice about it too is once you get on the Interstate 10, say you're in Buckeye and you hop on, you can get any freeway in the Metro Phoenix area. Our freeway systems are pretty easy to get around. They're very efficient. Matter of fact, they've really gotten a whole lot better in the last 15, 20 years. There've been a lot of widening projects and widening some stuff now in anticipation. They've done a nice job of planning ahead for development and growth, opening up various freeways such as this one down here in the Southeast Valley called the 202, which wraps all the way around the southern part of Phoenix and into the eastern part of the Southeast Valley, Mesa, Tempe, Chandler, Gilbert. This 303 freeway right here, for example, up in the northwest, opened up not too long ago. Tremendous growth all up around this whole northwest area of Phoenix. So the Phoenix has really grown in spite of our heat, which always seems to be the number one factor when people are considering moving here. Industries galore coming here by leaps and bounds. I mean, lots and lots of major industries coming here. A lot of Fortune 500 companies are coming here as well, just because it's poised for development. Taxation is good for businesses, and it's just overall, it really is a great place to live. But what I want to do is just kind of show you a little bit about where Buckeye is in relation to other parts. For example, if you want to head to the coast of California, you want to head to LA, maybe you want to head to the water, you got friends or family there, you want to go to Disneyland, you can literally hop on Interstate 10 and take it west. And it's about a 5-hour drive. If you want to go a little further south and into San Diego, there's Interstate 85, which is in the southern part of Buckeye here. You just take that down, go through Gila Bend, you hop on Interstate 8, and that'll take you all the way down into San Diego. So a couple nice options for you there if you want to head to California. The popular destination for people that live here, and a number of people have condos down there, is to go to Mexico. There again, that's Interstate 85. You continue taking that south. That'll take you down to the border of Mexico and on into a place called Rocky Point, which is a very popular destination. That's about, I think, about 3.5 hours, give or take. So anyways, that could be an option for you too. For people who like to get out of town and want to head up north, they want to head up to the Pines, lots of snow, the fall colors, whatever it might be, or you want to head to the Grand Canyon. You've never seen the Grand Canyon, you definitely got to go check that out. From Buckeye, you take that little outer 303 loop, and you want to get on Interstate 17. That's our north-south freeway that takes us out of town. This runs all the way up north into Utah, and right near the border of Utah and Arizona is where the Grand Canyon is located. That's about, I think, around 4 hours, give or take, maybe a little less than that. About 2 hours north before you get to the Grand Canyon, you're going to come to Flagstaff, which is one of the little, they've got a university up there, Northern Arizona University is in Flagstaff. But up there, you got the palm trees, you got a ton of snow. They get as much snow up there than probably any place in the country. They can get pounded with snow up there. But you got you're in the pine trees, the aspens. It's just absolutely beautiful up there, and that's only a couple hours north of Phoenix. So you can live here in the desert scape where you've got sunshine 300 plus days a year, and you want to go play in the snow. It's not very far. You have to go find it. Also, before you get to Flagstaff, about an hour away to an hour and a half away would be maybe the town of Prescott. Very popular destination. A lot of people have cabins up there as well, or maybe the Red Rocks of Sedona, if you're familiar with that at all. Beautiful, beautiful country. I will say this about Arizona. If you're not familiar with the state, maybe you haven't been here before, you don't know what to expect, it is an unbelievably beautiful state. I was born and raised here. Yeah, we grew up in the desert. It looks pretty plain, it looks pretty barren. There's cactus and shrubs and like it. But I'm going to tell you what, you get outside of town not very far, and the entire landscape is different. It is absolutely beautiful. And we've got a number of historic mining towns around the state that are just in unique settings. We're a big mining state here. So it really is, you move down here and you want to just, take a day trip here and there. There's just so much to see around Arizona. So it really is a beautiful state. All right. So let me kind of hone in on a couple of things here, getting back here to Buckeye. So for example, if you're a frequent traveler and you got to get to the airport, now from Buckeye, kind of pick the middle part, you're about 40 minutes, give or take. So this is showing currently in midday. Sometimes it might be 30 minutes. The great thing about it's all freeway. You just hop on Interstate 10, you head west and follow the signs, and that'll take you right into the airport. So that's convenient. If you took this Sun Valley Parkway, and I'll talk more about that here in just a minute, but there's a little area up north, kind of the northwestern part of Buckeye right now. It's just newly developed in the last 5 or 6, 7 years, maybe, called Festival Ranch. Absolutely going crazy. But anyways, if you lived up there and needed to get to the freeway, you're about an hour. So depending on where you live in Buckeye, 30 minutes to an hour roughly to get to the airport. If you like the outdoor life, you like lake life, for example. I know it's very popular, like in places like Texas. The Dallas area has a lot of lakes. Same with Houston, Florida, places like that. We don't. Our lake life isn't like those per se. We do have a half dozen or so lakes around the outskirts of town. The biggest one here is a place called Lake Pleasant, and from Buckeye, you just take this 303 all the way up north. It ties into this little Interstate 74. It's kind of a go-between little roadway, and it'll take you up there in almost an hour to get there. But Lake Pleasant is probably our largest lake, close to the Metro Phoenix area by area size, but it is a full service marina. It's got all the toys. You can rent just about anything you need. It's got a restaurant. It's got the full gamut up there. You can store your boat up there if you have a boat, dry storage or wet storage. They've got houseboats on there. There's fishing, there's camping, there's picnicking. It's got everything up there. So know that you're not too far from a lake if that's something that's of importance to you. Convenient on this side of town. One thing about Buckeye overall, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about that now, is there's not a lot to do in Buckeye. And, as far as entertainment and restaurants, sports bars and things like that, there really isn't much. Buckeye's kind of really known in the last few years. They got a lot of master plans. They've got several that are in. They've got several more coming. And so most of the activities in the nightlife kind of focus around those master plans inside of Buckeye. But if you want to get out and about, for example, I've kind of highlighted an area over here called Westgate, because it's not too far from Buckeye. Coming from that direction, it's about 25 minutes away. But just to give you an idea about Westgate, and I'll upload some pictures so you can see what it is. Westgate is an outdoor mall with a lot of stores, a lot of restaurants. They've got an outlet mall right next door. They have the Desert Diamond Arena. Seats about, depending on the venue, I think 15,000 people. It used to be home to the Arizona Coyotes. They recently moved down to Tempe in temporary quarters, and they're playing out of Arizona State's indoor arena. They're trying to get a new one built, so we don't know what that future holds, but they're working on that now. So now it's mainly a concert venue and other things that they will have there. Directly next door to that, to the south, is State Farm Stadium. That's home to the Arizona Cardinals. NFL football. We just hosted the Super Bowl there. It's the third one we've had out there. So that's a popular destination. You want to go catch a football game, but they've got, home and garden shows and RV shows and all. They got stuff going on, year round out there that you can take advantage of. And directly south of next door to the football stadium, they're building the Vi Resort. The Vi Resort will be the largest resort ever built in Arizona. It's just a mega resort. And next door to that, they're going to have the Mattel Outdoor Theme Park. And it's all things Mattel, like Hot Wheels and Ken and Barbie and Thomas the Train. I think that's a Mattel. Anyways, it's kind of along that theme, but it'll be an amusement park. Great to take the kids over to it. And so that's all scheduled to open up in 2024. So about a year from now. The rest of it is open that you can go over and take advantage of if you want something different. They even have, just to the north of Westgate, got a casino. If you like to gamble or you want to go and play the slot machines or play all your board games, that's a fairly new casino that just recently opened up. You can take advantage of that. So there's a lot of things to do right here and around Westgate. And across the freeway of the 101 is Top Golf. If you're familiar with that, it's a golf practice range on steroids. It's got games. It's got a restaurant there and a bar and a whole 9 yards. It's more of a socializing driving range. And they also just opened up too a thing called Pop Stroke, which is Tiger Woods is behind it. But it's Top Golf's version of miniature golf. Same thing. It's the same concept with miniature golf. And they've got a restaurant and a bar and TVs. You can watch sporting events and things like that. So that's all right there around the Westgate area. And those are both up and running. The only other ones that aren't open yet would be that resort and the Mattel theme park, but the rest is good to go. So that kind of gives you an idea. And there's plenty. There's an indoor mall right up here off the 101 called Arrowhead. So they've got a lot of name brand stores in there. So there are plenty of shops. There's plenty of things to do, in the West Valley. They're just not located down here in Buckeye. So that's the only downside right now is you're going to have to get in your car and for the most part, go somewhere. So let me kind of hone in on a little bit more about Buckeye and kind of tell you the history behind it. Actually, Buckeye was founded by a couple from Ohio. And the moniker for Ohio, of course, is the Buckeye State. And they came out here and built this little canal back then, I think it was around the mid-1880s. And it serviced the area. It's about 10 miles in length. And of course, back in those days, everything was all agriculture and farming here in the valley. And so they called it the Buckeye Canal, and it changed names briefly. And then it went back a few years later in the early 1900s to Buckeye. And it was referenced as the town of Buckeye for many, many years until 2014. And then they went through the town council, went through the necessary steps to change it to the city of Buckeye. And that's what it is referred to now. So that was only 9 years ago. But for years, Buckeye, there wasn't much here. I mean, most of Buckeye was kind of this whole little area right down in here. Up until the year 2000, there was only about 6,500 residents that lived here in Buckeye. Very, very small. We were builders and developers back in the day, and we were actually instrumental in building one of the master plan areas called Sundance. We started that back in the early 2000s. There was another major development taking place in the early called Verado. If you've done any research at all in Buckeye, you've probably heard of the Verado master plan. I did a whole separate video on that, as a matter of fact, that you can go check out, go in a little bit more detail about that. And so things really kind of start taking shape really about 20 years ago. And so then the population went from 6,500 then till now it's about a little over 100,000. But they've got some major master plan communities that are on the books or they're going to be coming out here in the near future. And it's just going to really change the whole landscape of what Buckeye is. I mean, Buckeye is going to be a mega city before too long. And I tell you what, it's poised for growth. I tell people, Whether or not you want to live in Buckeye, it might be a little too far out, or it might be a little too rural for you. Definitely could be a great place to invest. You know, if you wanted to get out, buy a house or buy some, you know, you take advantage of it and let the appreciation work on your side. That could be a possibility. But right now, there's a lot of farmland down in this little southern area of Buckeye. It's all kind of right off the 85, Interstate 10. So there's a lot of intermixing farmland still there. A lot of there's a number of older homes that are down there that are non-HOA. So maybe if you want some land, you know, you can find some acre property down there. You can get a little bit more room. A lot of obviously what they're doing now are mainly for the majority or master plans. But there is plenty of options for you if you didn't want to be in a HOA situation, or you want to be in a master plan development. You kind of want to do your own thing and you kind of want to have your own space. Just let us know, because there's definitely options out there for you. And it's all kind of, pretty much kind of down in this general area for the most part. And so that's what's going on. You know, another nice thing as far as employment down in Buckeye, there's going to be a lot of things changing, but they are building some incredible distribution centers down there. I mean, Walmart's got a major distribution outlet down there. I mean, there's the store Five Below, or I guess everything's what, $5 and below. They got just a monster warehouse and industrial buildings down there. And there's just several of these all scattered throughout Buckeye. And I mean, you drive down, they could be a quarter mile to half mile in length. I mean, they're monster. I don't know how many million square feet of space there is down there with all these different buildings, but there's a bunch of it. So the drawback to that is obviously there's a lot of 18-wheelers coming in and out. There's a lot of there's several trucking companies that are down here along the interstate corridor, obviously with our access to California. So, you know, just know that if you live down in this part of the valley, you're going to see more and more 18-wheelers, and chances are you're going to see in other parts of the valley, just because of the location and the proximity to everything, and to get to these warehouses. So you might encourage more traffic down in this area here. And I know they're going through and widening a bunch of I-10 right now, and they have all down through here. They've done some impressive changes to the freeway system. I remember when I was building down in Buckeye, I was down here almost every day. And I remember when this whole thing was going on for years, and the 303 wasn't open yet. And they did a major interchange right here. And now it's finished up. It looks great. But they needed it because they could see what was coming to Buckeye, and they wanted to get ready for it. So that's just something to take into consideration. You will see more and more the big semis down there because of that. But let me kind of talk to you about a few of the master plans and kind of the little shopping areas, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. But there were really kind of four main areas to Buckeye. And let me back up here and kind of show you where those are, and then I'll talk about them individually briefly. You had the area called Verrado. You had this area kind of called Sundance. Over here, you had an area called Tartesso. Up here, you got an area called Festival Ranch. If you look at the MLS today, and currently there's about, I think there are 540 homes for sale in Buckeye. And that could be anywhere from a mobile trailer up to a multi-million-dollar. Down in those four areas, you're probably going to have close to 75% of those in those four main pockets. So that's kind of what's going on now. Yeah, there'll be a few things kind of scattered down here and a little bit over here, but the bulk of them are going to be in these little four areas. And so that's kind of what I'm going to focus on and talk to you a little bit right now. You know, if you've done any research at all and you've looked around, maybe you've heard of Verrado. Verrado is an amazing master plan community. It's extremely well done. They've got over 75 neighborhood parks. I talk more about that in my video, but basically, no matter where you live in Buckeye, there's a park within a block or two. And it's all done by design. They've got several schools. They do have some shops and restaurants in there. So it really is a neat master plan if that's an area that you want to be in. And they've got different types of lifestyle. They've got big custom homes, smaller homes. So it's a wide variety of choices in there. And it's up along the White Tank Mountains. Great regional park up here. But it's this whole area right here is the White Tank Mountains. They've got several trailhead areas up there. But you got plenty of places to hike in here. The Verrado's kind of, built up along the mountain region here. This area here is a place called Skyline Regional Park. It's very well done. They've got several picnic areas, camping. You can take your horses up there if you want to go horseback riding, but just miles and miles of trails. And if you like to go mountain bike riding, whatever it is that you want to do, you can find it up here in the White Tank Mountains. and it's just all right there in Buckeye. So it's very convenient, very close by, regardless of really where you live. So it's not far at all. But definitely check out Verrado. Watch that video that I did. That'll kind of give you a little bit better perspective of it. I recently did a Verrado blog tour. We kind of showed you some different houses at different price points. We were kind of instrumental in getting Sundance started. We built some houses in there along with some other major players. There is the Sundance Town Center, and that's located in an area called Watson and I-10. It's right here. Right in here is a major little shopping area. It's probably the heart and soul of Buckeye when it comes to shopping. I mean, it's got the Abrazo Medical Center, so if you need healthcare, it's right there. It's got a Goodwill store. It's got grocery stores, gas stations. It's got all your basic office companies there for dental and chiropractic care and oh my gosh, you name it, it's there. There's a Lowe's department store, and they've got beauty supply stores. I mean, they got a lot of the basics from day-to-day living right here in this town center, and it is the main hub for the current city of Buckeye right now. There again, if you need other brand stores, you're going to have to go out where I talked about Westgate, or maybe up to Arrowhead Mall, up Interstate 10. But if you got to run to the store and get a quart of milk or whatever it is, boom, there's grocery stores right there. There's a Super Walmart. There's a Fry's Grocery. Two major grocery stores right there. But they've got all the modern conveniences with a lot of the basic stores. They got several fast food restaurants there as well, and a couple sit down restaurants that you can take advantage of. So anyway, so that's close by in Buckeye for just your major local convenient shop. All right, and then there's several housing opportunities there. There's housing all around the Sundance area. Lots of master plan communities going in. There's new construction. They're building new houses out there. So whatever it is that you're looking for, if you say, hey, I want to live in a brand new house, Buckeye has it. And what's nice about Buckeye, this is the neat part about it, it's still affordable. I mean, you can get some nice houses, a little single level 3-bedroom home, 1,500 square feet, the mid to upper 300,000. And it's hard to go much below that and get something that's really nice. You can go below that if you want to look into manufactured housing. But if you want a single family home, you can get some great prices there right now. So it's very convenient. So that's kind of the Sundance Buckeye area. If you go a little further west, another 15 or 20 minutes on Interstate 10, so you get a little further from downtown. Speaking of airport, they do have a municipal airport right here for small planes, and they also have you can also go skydiving. If you've never done skydiving and you want to go do it, or you enjoy doing it, they've got it right there at the airport. But you can keep your plane there. You can fly in and out if you like to fly. So that's close by. But there's an area called Tartesso, which is right in here. That's another big master plan development. It's currently up and running, and it's been there for a few years now. So that gives you some options. Several houses in there that are currently for sale. But there again, it's about another 15 or 20 minutes beyond this Sundance area, right in through here. So you just have to know that you're even further removed from a lot of the conveniences, but some people like to be a little further outside of town. They like that convenience of the hustle and bustle of town. So that could be an option for you. And then they just started an area up here called Festival Ranch. It's a Del Webb community up there. They have active adults, 55 plus. Oh, by the way, Sundance also has active adult as well as Verrado. So if you're looking for a community that's 55 plus, or one of the parties living there has to be 55, and I believe it's no one under 19 can live there. So they've got some restrictions on ages there. But Sundance, Verrado, and up here at the Sun City Festival, those are the active adult communities. Festival Ranch is also open to families, so they got both sides. They've got golf up there, which is nice. Verrado has a couple of golf courses. Sundance has a golf course. So if you like to play golf, you don't have to drive into town. You've got some options there that you can play at. This is an interesting little area that's just gone crazy just over the last, oh my gosh, how long has it been there now? Maybe 5, 6, 7 years, maybe. So it's fairly new. If you took this Sun Valley Parkway and took it east, you would come into Sun City Grand. So it's almost kind of like an offshoot of Sun City, but it's a little further away. I'm going to guess that distance is probably, 10 or 12 miles, maybe somewhere in there. So those are kind of the areas that are currently up and running. And let me tell you about the master plan that they just started moving dirt on. As a matter of fact, I just did a video on it that you can go and check out. There's a brand new development that's been approved, and it's actually been in the works for many, many years now. I knew it back about 20 years ago when we were building in Sundance. It was called Douglas Ranch at the time. They've since changed the name to Travalis. And when the market crashed in 08, 09, they kind of put it on the back burner and they brought it back out in 2012. And so now they've really been working on getting it ready to open up. And as part of the Howard Hughes Corporation, they're kind of one of the main players involved in it. But just to give you an idea, and they just started moving dirt out there, started grading about 6 or 7 months ago. It's going to be 37,000 acres. Over the years, I'm going to guess, oh gosh, I don't know how long to build out. It's got to be 30, 40, 50 years. Who knows how long it's going to take. They anticipate 100,000 homes and about 300,000 residents. So if you recall, I said, well, Buckeye currently is about 100,000 people living here. Just that's one community alone over time will make Buckeye 4 times the size that it is. So supposedly they've got all the water issues worked out. And like I said, they're going to start moving dirt. They're anticipating first available. I'm guessing probably, I don't know, maybe late 2024 to maybe early to mid 2025. What I'm going to do is I shared with some folks, I said, listen, if you want to know more about it, let's stay in touch. I'm going to send up a separate page that's going to keep people informed because there is a lot to do out there. And when I went out there, it's just a short little video, kind of took some aerial drones just to kind of see what's going on, but they have started moving some dirt. That's definitely in the works and it's coming. Now, interesting enough, Buckeye's going to have currently about 30 master plans that are either up and running or in the process of opening up. And I believe they've only opened up maybe a third of them so far. So they've got another 2/3 worth of master plans coming down the road over time. And I don't know if that is anywhere in this area out here in Buckeye. I haven't seen a development plan on that, but this Sun Valley Parkway is in. It's been in for several years now. Very nice roadway that just takes you up and all the way around, literally loops you to the 303 freeway. So you can take it from the 10 to the 303 and it's all the way across. And it's a nice little, I guess you call it like an expressway. So I would imagine over time, as the development starts, they're going to make some improvements to it, but it is convenient for right now. So those are kind of the main areas of Buckeye that's going on right now. Like I said, there's not a lot to do as far as entertainment inside of Buckeye. You got to really kind of go on the outskirts of town. They do have an annual rodeo in the beginning of the year, and they've got a few things kind of scattered throughout the year that you can take advantage of. But, there are some really nice master plans. You don't really have to go very far to be entertained unless you want to go to, maybe a really nice sports bar. You want to go night clubbing or something like that. You're going to have to leave Buckeye. So just know that living out there. Anyways, there is just in the little southern part of Buckeye, there is a private little lake. I'll touch on just briefly. It's about 120 acres. They do have some entertainment out there. You can fish in that lake. They got little boats, little pontoon boats that you can rent. They've got bass and tilapia and several other species of fish that you can catch. But it's like I said, it's only about 120 acres, so it's not real big. But they've got concert venues going on out there. Unfortunately, they're closed for the summertime, which I find kind of interesting. But they just closed up just a couple of days ago, and I guess they'll open up again in the fall. But kind of a fun little place you can go out there and entertain and do all that different. And that's kind of in the southern part of Buckeye. So that's a place called Hidden Lake. But again, like I said, for the most part, you're going to have to go in town. So anyways, I want to just take a moment, kind of give you an overview of a map video of Buckeye, kind of where it is, what's coming down the road, what's open now, just so you have an idea. And, I hope you found it helpful. So I'll go ahead and wrap this up.
All right, that's going to go ahead and do it for this video, the map tour of Buckeye. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. And as always, if you got any thoughts or comments, you can feel free to share those down below. We'd love to know what you're thinking. I mean, is Buckeye, is it on your radar? I mean, if you looked into it, have you thought about Buckeye? Are you familiar with what's going on with it? There is so much development coming down the road. We'd love to share that with you. So if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel and don't forget to tap that bell for notification. That way you'll stay current with the latest real estate market in and around the Metro Phoenix area, because we've got videos coming out every week and would love to share them with you. So until next time, thanks so much for watching, and we hope to show you around town. Bye now.